Okay, here's the painting. I figured I would put this on first thing right out of the gates here. This is our beautiful tropical, beautiful beach scene here. You can draw and paint from this if you'd like, or you can come back to this point in the video when you're ready to paint, and then you can use the next video which I have, which is the actual pencil drawing. So what I'm doing now on my videos is, I hope this is really helpful for you. I'll put on first up, right at the start of the video, I'm going to put on the pencil drawing first. Then I'm going to put on the painting, finished painting as well, second. And then then all the steps and all the subsequent paintings and drawings after that. So you'll have the finished work up front first here, so you can see it. You can take pictures of it, save it to your to your computer, to your laptop, to your iPhone, to your iPad, whatever you use for your electronic devices, or you can take a picture of it with your phone devices from a screen. You can take pictures of paintings right off of a laptop or a computer screen. So however you want to do it, be creative. But the best thing is, if you can work from this finished painting, you're always way better off because you can see all the colors, and you'll kind of be much better off seeing all the colors I used right on the painting itself versus trying to look at a photograph of something and then trying to figure out what I did. So always great to work from the painting. So I'll just leave this up for a second, and then we'll start our drawing after this. After these few videos of the pencil drawing and the painting. And here's the painting close up. Okay, welcome everyone. This is the drawing portion. So I wanted just to put the drawing up here. This is a great time. If you want, you can pause the video and draw from this actual pencil drawing we have here. So I'm just going to leave this up for a few seconds. You can pause your video. You can do a screenshot if you want, so you can save that to your device, and then you can print it out. You can print it out on printer paper and have it to use for your drawing, or you can just pause the video and draw right from this, or you can draw from the actual finished painting. It's up to you, but I figured I'd stop the video here and just make this quick portion where you can, if you want, use this pencil drawing that I did as your reference for your drawing if you like. Okay, so we're going to get into the drawing now, everyone. Thanks. We're just moving right along here. So the drawing here is going to be a light pencil drawing with a number 7.7 millimeter. I use a Pentel retractable pencil. It's a mechanical pencil, works really great. So I will use this to do the drawing. It's a little thinner. If I'm using it, basically, if I do a larger painting, I'll use the 9.9 millimeter pencil, retractable. If I'm doing a smaller painting like this is maybe like a 8x8, 7x7 square. So we're doing like more of a square composition now. I'll use for 7x7, 7x10. 8x, like an 8x10 or an 8x12, 10x12. A 7 is good. 0.7 millimeter is good. It's the larger the painting, you just want to use a little bit of a larger mechanical pencil, with the lead being a little bit larger, so that it's going to show better through your painting, if you like that look. If you don't like the pencil kind of showing through your painting, you can usually stick with like a 7 all the time, a 7 millimeter all the time. And so we're going to just keep that in mind as we start our drawing. And we're going to do a beautiful beach scene. It's going to be exciting. It's going to bring you right into that feeling of the beach, summertime, sunlight, hot sunlight. You're out there, you're getting a tan, going into the water, getting a little toes wet. All that good stuff, being at the beach, maybe have a little sipping on some iced tea or your favorite beverage, the breeze blowing, the palm trees swaying. Have a good time, get into the mood of the painting. Like I always say, if you get into the mood and you think about your scene that you're painting, whatever it is, you think about it a little bit, you contemplate it, you get into the feeling of it, you'll notice that your painting is going to come out just a little bit better. You know, same thing with your drawing. Drawing will come out a little bit better if you prep a little bit beforehand, just getting into the mood of it. All right, so we're into the mood now. We're into that beautiful, maybe tropical. We're out in the tropics, or maybe we're in our local beach where we live, in that area down the shore. And all right, so now we're gonna do our normal layout of our hash marks around our tape. Let's do that. Okay, so the sunlight's going to be coming from the right. So I'll put my light insignia, and that looks fine there. There we go. So our light's coming from this direction. And now we have that. Then we're going to say, we're going to have a little hut on the beach here. So that's going to be the bottom here. So we'll say the bottom of hut. We're going to have a little grass and cloth hut with our lawn chairs and all that good stuff. And so that starts about there, the bottom. Then the top is maybe about here. So we'll put top hut. And once we have that, that's pretty good. So I'm looking across here and I'm saying that looks fine. And then with the hut, we're going to make the bottom of the palm tree over here at the same level as the hut. So we could put palm tree, bottom of palm tree. Then over here we can put top of the hut, might be more, maybe more here. And then the top of the palm tree over here is going to be a little bit higher than that. Top palm tree. So yeah, make your notes over on your tape. You always tape around the border of your watercolor painting. Make your hash marks. Get your approximate heights of things, plumb lines of things. If you know, like here, the hut's going to be about halfway across. So we'll say hut here and here. So our hut's going to be from here to here. You can even do that. And that should be enough information. We could also do the palm tree over here, if the hut's over here. Palm tree will be about here. We'll make that a little closer maybe. Palm tree, and then we're going to have some lawn chairs over here, but that we can just draw in. All right, so we have our hash marks around our tape, just so we know where we're going to put things approximately in the painting. We have our light insignia so that we know where our light's coming from, so when it comes time to paint, or even if we're going to do a little pencil marks with our shadowing as we're drawing, maybe sometimes we like to draw in the shadows a little bit with our pencil. So if we're going to draw in our shadows with our pencil, then we would, better off having our light insignia up here too, right from the start. Okay, so that's really a great way to start. Let's take a quick break. Always great to take breaks, and then we'll get into the drawing. Okay, we'll just take maybe 5 minutes just to relax a little bit, and then we'll come back and start drawing. Okay, I'm glad you're here and you're back again with us. We're doing our drawing right now, our pencil drawing. So let's get started. We have our hash marks all set up, and we just basically did our hash marks. We did our light insignia. We're at the point where we took a break, just 5 minutes, just a 5-minute break, just to relax, 5-10 minutes. And you can also too, if you're really busy and it's at nighttime and you have to take, you can always come back the next day and start this. I'm just kind of, I usually do my videos here, my paintings, I do them all usually within, 3-4 hours time. So with breaks and everything. So I'm usually working like a half a day doing my drawing and my painting here on video that you're seeing. So that's why I take, 5-10 minutes. Sometimes I'll take like 45 minutes if I go to get some lunch or some dinner, and I'll come back and I'll keep working. But whenever I say take a break, it can be 5-10 minutes, or it can be a half an hour, or it can even be, the next day you come back and start working on it. So it's your pace. You're the artist. You plan out your breaks, and of course you can always take a break overnight and then come back the next day and start your painting up again or your drawing up again. It's all up to you. You can do this in a week's time, where you start out the first day, you get your hash marks your first day, you maybe work an hour if you're very busy and you don't have time. Your second day you come back, you're going to put an hour in each day maybe, or half an hour. Second day you come back, you do the pencil drawing like we're going to do. And then the third day you maybe come back and you start doing the first part of the painting. So, you can stretch it out as much time as you have you put into it. If you don't have a lot of time in one day to do everything, you can space it out over 3-4 days or even a week. It's up to you. So I just want to remind you that you have options when you're drawing and painting with watercolor. A great thing about watercolor is you can stop anytime. Take breaks. You can a couple days. You can wait a week. Come back a week later. So you just work at your own pace. That's all. Have fun with it. And we're going to keep going here. And as I always mention, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's very easy. You just hit the subscribe button below, and this way you're alerted every week when we do a new video. We're doing 1 or 2 videos every week, so you'll always get alerted to when our new videos come out. And also too, if you hit the bell. The little bell next to the right of the subscribe button, that bell will actually give you a notification that sends you an alert of exactly when the video comes out, so you'll know exactly when we're starting up and putting out a new video. Okay, so let's keep going here. So we're going to start out. I'll start out with the hut. So I'm going to come over here, and we said the hut is over here. And you can always sketch in some light lines just to sort of get things. I'll contour draw this, and those that follow on a regular basis, contour drawing is basically you're starting with one line and just continuing throughout the painting, drawing with one line, and you start and you just go from there. So I'm going to do that here. So I'm going to go up here, and then the hut goes across here, comes across here. And then we have some palm trees here, a small palm tree, and then we have another palm tree here. Okay, so that's the palm tree here. So I'm going to try to work around the painting, the drawing, and I'm not just going to do one area at a time. I'm going to go right around and just keep working through everything. Okay, so that's one of the support posts for our canopy here. So we have a canopy. It's a wood canopy for shade. And then here we're going to have the other post. We're going to have some shadowing over here. And we have some curtains, some nice beautiful curtains here, white curtains, and then there's a chair here, and then there's a table back here. Looks like a cushion, maybe some seating here behind these chairs. And here we're going to have again we'll have some more of those curtains up. And there's another support there. Okay, and we can just see we're moving right along. There's some supports here for under this small seating bench, and then there's the dark shadow there, so we just kind of make a little dark shadow there. And there's another post here. And then in the distance here, there's another palm tree. That's probably part of that. And then there's another palm tree over here that comes down to here. And that's part of this palm tree. And you notice I just do the palm trees real loose, you know, nothing too. And I'll just put some of those lines in to let us know we're swaying in the breeze here with our palm trees. And okay, so we have a really good amount of work done on the right side. Let's move on over here. And this palm tree is about here. And it comes up like so, and the branches, so I'm going to always look at things. I'm looking at my photograph here. You'll work from this painting, though. You won't work from my photograph. You'll work from my painting to draw and paint. And then here, the leaves and palms themselves are going to be at this level here with the canopy. And then again here. Make these loose and fun. If you're going to do these palm trees, you're way better off just having a loose, fun time with them. Just make them flowing. Make the palms flowing like the wind. Like just get into it. The wind is blowing. You're better off doing this than sitting here and trying to suffer and draw it really slow. So you're better off going quicker. A lot of times, you know, going faster and more freer and faster is going to save you as far as the way your drawing and your painting comes out. If you go really, really slow and you're like kind of trying to get every little detail, don't worry about all the every detail. Just have some fun with it. Put on those branches. You know, just kind of get a flow going with your pencil like this, like 1, 2, and then 3. You know, like that, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, you know, you slide your hand on the paper with your pencil close to the paper, and then when you're ready to do the palm, and you have that kind of feeling like, okay, I'm getting the feel for the curve of that palm on that palm tree, then you just go for it. And then another one, 1, 2, 3, like that. Perfect, right? That's going to look much better than going real slow and agonizing over, is it just the right angle, or does it look like it's flowing in the right? Don't worry about it. Just have fun with it. If you do it quick and fast and fun, it's going to look 100% better. And that's really a kind of a fun technique I learned, and it really works. A lot of artists do that. A lot of pro artists will tell you being carefree with your strokes, with your brushes, and being carefree with your drawings and your pencil lines is going to look better. Being carefree and fun and having a loose, fun time versus like trying to be like very slow and extremely, you know, agonizing over those angles, or, you know, it's better. It looks better when you just kind of. All right, so we're having fun here. Go with the flow, have fun, make those lines quick, fun, free, and you'll be set. Okay, now we've really come a long way here. You know, if you need a break when you start drawing, at this point I'm still good. I can still keep drawing, and I'm feeling, you know, good, and my concentration level is really good still, so I won't take a break here. But if you need a break, you can also take breaks. Even if I don't say take a break, if you need a break, take a break. No big deal. All right. Okay, so now we got this palm tree in. It looks good. It's just a little bit higher than the bottom of this bench and canopy, and that's about right. Looks good. There's a happy shadow on that area there. Kind of get that like that. shadows too. Shadows are really fun to do, and they're carefree and fun too. You don't want to worry too much about your shadows and plan them out too much. Just, sketch them a little bit on your drawing, and then when you're painting them, we'll do the same thing. We just have fun and get a little shadowing in there. Okay, now there's another bench out here. Look at that. A bench out here for sitting on and enjoying the ocean. And there's someone here. They're on the bench. And then they're sitting there. Let's make that person there. And then right next to that, there's a chair. And it's a little bit angled that way there. Shadow underneath. Don't worry about your pencil drawing so much. We'll get all these details when we're doing the painting. So we have a little shadow under the chair. There's a bench here. We have a little shadow under that. We have the ocean. Now for the ocean, no worries. If you have to, I'm going to use a ruler here. Take a ruler to get your ocean, your horizon line on your ocean. And for here, it goes right across like that. Just above that chair over here on the left. You can see that chair. This is a chair, and there's a figure here on the bench. And the ocean, distant ocean, horizon line, or the distant ocean level line is right here. So I'm going to take that and make a nice level mark. All the way across. There we go. Sometimes rulers can be a little bit difficult. Okay, there. If you actually go over a spot, like for here, my pencil line went over that over this this curtain here. So I just erased that pencil line out of that curtain. So you just try to, when you're doing your pencil lines, just a thing to note. Just a thing to note, I guess, when you do your pencil lines, if you're using a ruler, is sort of do a lighter line and kind of just be aware of when you're going across. You probably don't want to do too much crossing over like the tree here and the curtains and things if you can. You could tell I went over a curtain here, no big deal. I just took a kneaded eraser, and so it's not a big deal if you go over a few spots. But if you do, you come back and just do a little light erasing, and you'll be fine. And that's really, I'm looking at this painting, and it looks pretty good. I noticed that I was a little bit tighter, and took a little more time and did this a little bit more. Not as carefree as I did this palm tree. So these palm trees over here, I think I should have drawn them a little more carefree and fun and loose. What I'll do is, though, when I'm painting them, I'm going to actually do them more, loose and fun over here on these here. These here, I drew them perfect, and they're nice and loose, and I was kind of trying to demonstrate that, and actually that's, they came out just right. So I think we're just right there. Okay, so now, one last thing. I want to get a little bit of the shadowing on this here. Okay, so I just wanted to pencil in a little bit of shadowing for these palm trees over here. And I'm just doing a little bit of just to remember these are palm trees, so I make a little bit of hash marks here and there on the trunks of the tree. All right, perfect. Let's take another break, and we'll be ready to, we'll start painting next. So 5-10 minute break, and we'll come back and we'll start painting this. And you're going to see the painting goes a lot more, Painting is a lot more fun. Once we have our drawing down really well, then we can paint. We have a lot of fun. We have our guide set for us, so we're just really stress-free painting. We're just going in with our colors and just, having a good time versus, I know some people don't draw first. I always say, definitely do your lines and draw first before you paint, because it takes a lot of the stress out of things. You already know where everything has to go. Everything's laid out for you. It's almost like those old, books we used to use as children. Remember those? When you did the coloring books, everything was there. All the lines were perfectly there, and you just take your crayons and you go in. It's the same idea. When we do our pencil drawing, all your lines are down. They're all there, and then it's like crayons. Your paints are now your crayons. You go in and you paint, and you get in your colors, and you're good to go. Okay, we'll come right back in a few minutes, and we'll start the painting. Okay, everyone. Welcome again. We're just starting up our painting now. We're going to get our brushes ready and start the painting here. I'm using a 6-round Escada Reserva Charles Reed series. Great brushes. So I have my water, fresh clean water, freshly squeezed tube paints, not dry, not hard, totally soft, moist. And we're ready to paint. Let's get started. I changed my tape so that we wouldn't be kind of distracted by the black magic marker for our hash marks around our painting. Now that we have our drawing done, we don't really need the hash marks anymore. The only thing I left was the light insignia, as you can see, so that we know our light source, where it's coming from. This way, when we do shadowing, when we start painting shadows, we just can glance up there and go, oh yeah, that's right, the light's coming from this direction, so the shadows are all going to be going this way. The cast shadows are going to be underneath the subject matter going to the left. So that's all. Just that's why we put that light insignia. All right, woohoo, we're starting our painting. Let's have fun here. Okay, raw umber, raw sienna, burnt umber, burnt sienna. Let's get some wood colors, and we're going to do our beautiful wood canopy here. So let's do that. Let's do our darker colors. Let's do a little cerulean blue too. Warm and cool everywhere. So we'll do a little warm and cool. So we're going to do some cadmium red too. That beautiful cadmium red, that's... And I rinse my brush and then dry it off a little bit on a tissue, or I have a apron on. Sometimes I'll just touch my brush to my apron, or I use some paper towel or some sponge. You can figure out what you like to use best, but I'm just going to do the tissue right now. So I have my tissue. I dry off a little bit there. Okay. So we're getting the darker tonal values underneath this. And we put that, again, that little bit of blue, maybe some cobalt blue, just to get some warm and cool. And some burnt umber. Then we have some raw umber, yellow ochre. That's the top of the, these look like wood planks going across. So I leave the wood planks like that. And we mix up here, and then we just take our brush strokes, and now we're going to go down like this. And yellow ochre like that. And then we have another Perfect, look at that. We're already making a great start here. A little warmer colors mixed in there. So a little bit of burnt sienna. A little bit of blue for shadowing under here. It's a little darker under here. So we put a little shadowing under there, like so. A little bit of cadmium red. We're always trying to get a little bit of interesting color vibrations in there. And we have another line there. So that's more of the canopy. Looks good. Okay, and then some sky color. So we can put some sky color in there now. Just so we have that. And since we put that sky color in, we won't put that other wood beam in there right now. We could have left that out, but no big deal. A little bit of blue in there. And okay, let's continue on. Let's get some of them darker tonal values. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, some French ultramarine blue. We have a chair over here, a beach chair. It might be one of those really nice wooden or that looks like, yeah, one of those really nice wooden beach chairs. It's got the wood on the back and then probably cushions on the front. So we're just imagining how interesting that is. A little bit of cool colors in there. And then we have, let's see here, a little bit of shadowing under that bench. So I'm just taking my time carefully doing a shadow under that bench there. And it's got wood, so we're going to put wood in there too. So we'll do that. And we'll just keep going with the flow. Some purple, French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, so we'll mix a little cool shadowy color. And that goes under the bench here. Okay, so we're just working our shadows now. And again, you're going to work from my finished watercolor. So you'll work from this finished watercolor once I'm completed. So you've already seen this finished painting already. And now you're just seeing me paint it, but you did already see the finished painting. I put that before we did this painting here, so you can work from that if you like to go ahead and just go ahead of me and just start doing the painting. We'll do some shadowing under here. And okay, so we're kind of getting the canopy beams here in. Those look pretty good. And there's some darks in here, a little bit of again, we're having fun, so let's do some fun, happy brush strokes here, like that. Okay. So this area here is pretty good for right now. Let's keep working. I think we'll start working on the palm tree. So we're going to have cerulean blue, some purple. It's for shadow colors. So we have that. And then we have some raw umber. Maybe some red there. And some cerulean blue. That looks better for the palm tree. It's kind of got that grayish color. All right, so let's do that. Let's add in that grayish color, which was cadmium red and cerulean blue. Makes that nice kind of grayish color for the palm tree. Look at that. Beautiful. Wow. And, oh, that's okay if you have that happen. Your brush drops, no big deal. That's why I splash all the time. I stay ahead of things. I splash first. I didn't splash quick enough. I needed to splash before that happened, so that I always remember to not worry about those little issues that happen with watercolors. Let fun things happen. If you drop your brush or you splash something or spill something, no big deal. You just keep going. And that's the other palm tree over here. So we make a little I just lighten that up a little bit. If you make your palm tree a little bit wider than you anticipated, then you just add another post over here. You add another wood post, and you'll never know. No one will ever know. Just like that. So I added another post because my palm tree I made over here on the left was too big and too wide over here. So I just add another post, add something else, put something else in there. No worries. Watercolor's fun. You just change things around. If you have an issue, you can go over something, add something. No worries. Okay, now we've got the really nice look of the palm trees over here. This is still wet, so I'm not going to go back in and do any darks there, but I will come back later and do a couple dark details with this palm tree on the right. But for right now, that looks good. Let's start getting into the greens. Sap green, olive green, burnt umber, raw umber, yellow ochre, some cadmium lemon yellow, get some of that there. Okay, now I splash a little bit, rinse my brush, dry my brush on the paper towel or tissue, and then we can start going in with our happy palm trees here. Look at that. You can add some burnt umber to that too, some raw umber, some burnt umber, cerulean blue. There's a little bit of darks in there. We just try to remember to keep that feeling of the palms and the leaves and branches and things like that, kind of heading up towards the light. And once that is like that, then you can get some more greens. And I'm going to do some fast fun, just like that. And then we add some of that lemon yellow to just give it that nice lemon yellow look, and then some yellow ochre as well. And we'll do the same thing, some nice carefree fun brush strokes, like the darker palms are going to be over here under that area. And then And that looks pretty good. I add in some more green, darker greens there. And that should be good. Okay, perfect. A little bit of purple shadowing colors and French ultramarine blue. Maybe add in a little bit of red there and orange, just for some interesting color variation. Orange, there we go. Okay. Then we will take a break. Let's take a break now. I've been working probably 20 minutes, 15 minutes, so I'm starting to feel like I just want to take a little quick break, and we'll come back in like 5-10 minutes. All right. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're moving along here on our painting. No need to worry if something goes a little bit off the game plan. As you can see, we had that little issue where I dropped my brush. Again, just, don't let that kind of stuff bother you. If you drop your brush, no big deal. If your painting goes really, really bad, you can start a new one. You can flip your paper over and start another one on the other side and just start back again with the drawing and whatever, and then the painting. But I'm having fun here. As you can see, we're having lots of fun. So I'm going to go in cerulean blue, sap green. Using my needlepoint brush here, number 6 needlepoint, a little bit of burnt umber. And I just want to try to get some of those fine needles for the for the beautiful palm trees. So you can see, I'll do some of those fine lines here. So as long as I get a couple of those really nice indications of some really fine leaves on the palm trees, I'm fine with that. And we'll just keep working. And when we do the sky, some of this will kind of, like, if you can see some washes that got a little bit out of control over here, no big deal. When we do our sky wash, that's all going to blend in really nice, and we won't even really notice that. So we're going to keep working on our painting portion here, and let's start working on this palm tree here. So I'll use some more of that cadmium red and cerulean blue. Cadmium red, cerulean blue, maybe a little touch of that green. There we go, perfect. And some purple and French ultramarine blue, maybe just a little shadowing on this side. And we have that shadowing color. We can just kind of wiggle around our brush a little bit, and then we have our shadow right there for this grouping of trees here. Maybe a little more spots of shadow there. We're going to leave the white paper for the sand. Maybe a little touch of yellow ochre for the sand, but we should probably, I think it'll look really nice if we just leave it the white paper for the sand, actually. So we have we're working on this here, our palm tree. Let's maybe do our chair there. French ultramarine blue, burnt umber, burnt sienna. We'll just get a little color, dark there. That looks good. Purple. Then we have that bench there with the shadow underneath it, so we can do that. That looks fine. And so we'll let this dry a little bit over here. Maybe we'll do the figure. Maybe the figure's going to have some, maybe a red shirt. So I'll put a little red, some red color for the shirt on the figure, and then a little brown hair. And that should be good. And then here, let's a little more shadowing there. Again, carefree, have fun when you're doing your shadows. Don't get too worried. Kind of just do some real, haphazard marks on the paper for your shadows, and that'll be fine. Shadows are mysterious, so. And then we'll do some more palm trees here. So again, I'm going to do some fun brush strokes like that. See? Perfect. Some cadmium lemon yellow. Splash. I'm going to do a little bit of splashing with the yellow ochre. And then we'll use our fine needlepoint brush to do some of the, and that's all. And then purple, French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and just a little couple dark spots in there for shadows. And some lemon yellow, cadmium lemon yellow. Then we do some sap green mixed into what we already had mixed there. And we just do our nice, fine, beautiful fine lines for the needles on the palm trees. Sap green, maybe a little bit of cerulean blue. A little bit of French ultramarine blue if you want to go darker on some of them. Like that. Again, have fun with this. Just have fun. Carefree. Try them a different couple times. If your painting doesn't come out perfect the first time, no big deal. Try this painting 2-3 times. Each time it'll get better as you do it. And you'll see if I just flick some paint. There we go. A couple splashes. Good. Perfect. Look at that. Maybe a couple little dots of color. A couple of red there. A little bit of orange. Perfect. Look at that. All right, we're getting there. We're almost completed, actually. So we have our palm trees done. We have our canopy done. Our figure done with the bench. our chair over here. And shadowing. All that's really, we have to, let's do this. Let's get there's some, couple towels here. So let's do that. Okay, looking fantastic. Hey, we're almost completed. Let's take one more break. We'll come back. We'll do the water and the sky, and then we'll be absolutely complete. And you'll see that this really, once we do the sky and the water, the painting's going to look like 100% better, actually. And it looks good now, but when you do that water and that sky, it's going to look even more fantastic. So stick around, stick it out. Hang out for another 5-10 minutes when we come back after a break, and we'll do again the sky and the water, and you'll be amazed at how good this is going to look. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, things are coming together here. We're back. We're going to do another couple washes, and we'll be complete with this painting. It's actually looking excellent already. We've got some beautiful palm trees. We have our figure here on a bench out on the sand. We have some interesting details, another chair here, a nice interesting wooden chair, some towels. We have our canopy here with our curtains, white curtains. And then as we paint, you'll see it'll all come together now because the dark behind the blue sky and the blue ocean is going to actually bring everything to life here in this painting and make the light come alive. So let's get started here. The first thing I'll do is I'm going to make the distant ocean a green and bluish color. So French ultramarine blue, a little bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of sap green, nice dark. And we'll do that and we'll go across, and we'll just take our time. We just want to get a nice dark there, make sure it's good and dark, so we make sure we use the straight paint. Burnt sienna, French ultramarine blue, sap green. Let's make that really, really dark. And we can make it thinner and then the line a little thicker. Like that. And then we're really careful over here that we don't paint over the palm trees and the posts. Then we'll come in with some green, and we'll just sort of fade this in a little bit. We'll try to see how we fade that in a little bit there. So we try to take that dark line we just put across there and just kind of moisten it a little bit with the green, a little bit of the greenish color we have there. And if we moisten that up, it kind of blends really nice and it looks very natural, like the ocean, the distant ocean. And we'll go right across like that. Now over here it's not as important because we've got all kinds of vertical interruptions to the water line here, so that's not going to really bother us too much. Then we're going to go with some Viridian green. This should look really beautiful, the Viridian green. It's kind of, and if we notice, I'm going to blot up a little bit there. And then with the Viridian green, I'm just going to leave some white paper here and there for waves. Ah, that looks great, doesn't it? The Viridian green just looks beautiful. That turquoisey green. Perfect. You can already see the sand looking bright and sunny. Excellent. Okay, now we'll move up to a bigger brush. I'm going to use a number 10 Raphael. So this is a Raphael brush, number 10, Kolinsky Sable, round brush. We're going to do the sky. Let's use a big brush to do the sky because it's a large area. Let's do the sky, cerulean blue and cobalt blue with a little bit of French ultramarine blue and a little bit of burnt sienna too, just to give it a little bit of character to it. And then I'll just mix that color up again, same thing. So cobalt blue, a little bit of French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, cerulean blue over here. So we'll mix up our colors. Okay, let's start up here. A little darker up here. French ultramarine blue makes it a little darker up top. Then we just sort of bring this down. Just keep working the wash downwards, like so. Cerulean blue. So we go with cerulean. We leave a little bit of lights in there, a little bit of white paper. Leave some white paper there, and then here and there too in the sky. And then as we do our cerulean blue closer to the horizon line, let's put a little couple clouds in there. Like that. Just a few clouds. Perfect. Then a little touch of orange along the ocean. Now, we can use a little bit of the cerulean blue over here. And the reason I do that is I want to highlight this area here. So I will add a little extra cerulean blue. That won't hurt anything, to make it a little darker there. And we can make it darker here too and up here. So we kind of disguise that darker tonal value into the painting so that we can get that real nice contrast of the white curtains and the blue sky. And it looks fine. Perfect, look at that. And we can do the same thing above. If you want to put a little more darker tonal value with the blue above. Gives a little bit of that touch of light on top of those canopies. And just a touch of cadmium lemon yellow on this sand here. If you put just a little, the tiniest bit of cadmium lemon yellow on the sand, it looks great. It kind of gives it that bright, sunny feel. A couple of splashes here with the yellow ochre, maybe a little raw umber, a couple of splashes with the raw umber just for the sand. And then if you do a couple splashes and they don't come out perfect, no big deal. Blot them up like that. Blot up some splashes if they don't come out right. Just take the tissue, always have a tissue on hand really close by, and just tap up some things if they don't look perfect. Sometimes it's better off not splashing onto the paper when it's damp and wet when you do a wash. So that's why it looks a little funny. But if you wait till this dries 100%, you can do a little more splashing if you want, just for that sand effect. Like here. Like that. But that seems to be good. And I'm just going to add a couple more darks there. A couple more darks. The darks are usually closer to the source of the shadow. A little more dark there. French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. Okay, the paper is buckling a little bit. It might make the distant water horizon line look a little bit wavy, but that's just the paper buckling, which is no big deal. Since we put a lot of paint on here, that's going to happen. The paper, the paper is going to buckle if you add a really nice watery wash to it. So don't worry about that. All right, so I hope everyone had fun, and we'll take the tape off here. Try this one again and again. It's a fun one to paint. And nothing like a beautiful beach scene, the tropical scenes, sand, ocean, beautiful blue skies, all the good feelings that go with being out at the beach and enjoying the sun, the fun. And we'll also showcase this picture in the beginning of the video so that you can work from it. So you could actually draw and paint from the same picture if you want to. Let's move this here. Let's zoom in. Okay. All right, a beautiful beach scene, tropical, lots of interesting things, figures, chairs, curtains, palm trees blowing in the wind, shadows, all the exciting things you like in a painting right here. Okay, enjoy this one, have fun, draw it, paint it, and then try it a couple times, 2-3 times, perfect it, and then you'll have a lot more fun with it. Okay, we'll see you on the next video, and have fun, happy painting.